Alright, welcome back. We're continuing on with our day. I got some crates as a gift for signing in, so I did that, and then I won this hairstyle. I thought, well, let's do another wardrobe change.
Put a cork in his thigh. Size my friend. Probably the best friend I have. The vestige is going, I'm going too.
Yes, I see. And you are the most qualified. Why? Is it your superior knowledge of Cold Harbor? Your expertise in dealing with Daedric entities? Or is it simply the unrequited puppy love you feel for that shirtless mammoth?
Is he jealous? Is he jealous? Say hello to Codwell.
This cave is quite lovely, but have you seen the nightmarish landscape outside? How do you people keep your sanity? I believe I'll just remain indoors. Do let me know if I'm needed for anything heroic, won't you?
You bet. You bet, Cadwell.
The time has come for another foray into Oblivion, Vestige. We have one last ally in need of rescue.
Sai Sahan.
Indeed, Abnathan and I have been meditating, scrying, and poring over Manamako's notes, and at long last we've discovered the location of the Halls of Torment.
How long has Sai Sahan been a prisoner there?
Our friend has suffered unimaginable and unending torment for nearly 2 years, far longer than any mortal man should endure. But Saisahan is something more than mortal man. He's a descendant of Leki, the Yokudan sword saint. I've seen it.
Then we must find him, and quickly.
We have been able to determine the precise area of the halls where Sai is being held. This is why we were so long about the task. I shall open a portal for you.
Am I going alone?
Lyris and Abner have both agreed to accompany you, but I fear their mutual enmity will complicate your task. Speak with them and hear what they offer, but you must choose one or the other.
Okay.
What's wrong? What did Varen say?
He said that only one of you can join me.
Then your choice is clear. I've known Sai Sahan longer than anyone. I should be the one to go. It's your decision. Just know that I'd give my life for you or for Sai. Would Tharn do the same?
Check what's going over here.
You look perplexed. What inscrutable riddles is Varen spouting now?
He said that only one of you can join me.
Did he? What surprisingly good advice. Titanborn and I are more likely to kill each other than we are to help. The choice is yours. But I recommend choosing brains over brawn. I have valuable knowledge of the Daedra, and don't forget, I'm the mage.
Oh, come on, Abner, come with me.
A very wise decision. One you won't regret. Trust me. Shall we go? We've a Redguard swordmaster to rescue.
If you get killed,
Go with
then...
Abner. Save Saisahan from the Halls of Torment.
I'm only doing this, Lyris, because if he's killed, I won't feel guilty about it. Alright. Pillage.
Where is the Amulet of Kings?
Becoming a sword singer is a child's play, Sai. I mastered it in an afternoon. Here, let me show you.
looks like me. What in damnation is going on here? Where is the Amulet of Kings? Tell me or I'll gut you like a fish with your own sword. Onward and up! See how simple it is to be a sword singer for someone.
How touching. Your friends are here to save you. Pity they arrived too late. It's time for your next round of torture. You'll enjoy this one.
Well, that was unnerving. Can't say that I've ever had to kill a version of myself before, but I must say, even as an evil doppelganger, I'm a very capable opponent.
Was all that talk of sword singers?
They were a legendary group of Redguard swordmasters, wiped out in the First Era by the Yokudan Emperor Hera. Sahan spent years trying to resurrect their ancient traditions, but failed utterly. He considered it his greatest failure.
Why did the doppelganger look like you?
The torturers here are using Sahan's memories and darkest fears against him in an attempt to break his will. He and I were never close. In truth, I enjoyed mocking him. I had no idea how deeply it affected him.
You almost sound pleased about that.
Oh please, we're adults, aren't we? The day I start considering people's feelings before speaking my mind is the day my efficacy as a politician comes to an end. When that day comes, just kill me outright, I beg of you.
Ugh. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Na, 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 na. Particularly want to talk to you. I'm trying to figure out where to go. Dwemer Dreams. I discovered this section of ruins after careful study of the surrounding countryside. To my trained and experienced eyes, it was obvious that this complex would be right where I found it. I dubbed the place LoreBooks due to its proximity and relative elevation compared to the nearby Bothaniel ruins. As with all Dwemer installations, the true purpose of this place eludes me. But that does not mean I can't dream and make a few wild guesses. And as always, my wild guesses will be closer to the truth than any theories proposed by the so-called scholars who sit in their towers in Mournhold and the Mages' Guild halls. As I studied the maps I had drawn of the complex, an idea began to form at the back of my mind. I decided to sleep on it, and I found a safe location that the spiders and spheres seemed to actively avoid. I fell asleep to the gentle whirring of the gears and the hiss of steam, and in my sleep I dreamed. I dreamed I was standing in the smaller southern chamber, surrounded by living, breathing Dwemer. They were so engaged in their work that they didn't notice me as I passed among them. I watched as they fed strange components of metal and other, less easily identifiable substances into the maws of their churning machinery. They didn't speak or pause to rest, and they seemed to me to be almost as mechanical as the gadgets they produced. In my dream, I left the Dwemer workers to their incomprehensible tasks and exited by the eastern corridor. I followed the passage as it curved to the north, ignoring the spheres that rolled past me. In the larger chamber, I came upon a bizarre scene. Dozens of Dwemer were crowded around the central platform, intent upon whatever was taking place on that raised stage. I could see one of the Centurions upon the platform, as it stood much taller than the Dwemer crowded around it, but I couldn't make out what was happening that had the Dwemer so fascinated. I started to push my way through the crowd in order to get a better view when something grabbed my arm. I thought it must have been one of the Dwemer, but who had until this moment completely ignored my presence. But the hand that grabbed me was cold and metallic, and when it squeezed, I cried out in pain and opened my eyes. The dream rolled away like a parting mist, and I found myself in the grip of a Dwemer spider. Well, since you're reading this count, you must have realized by now that I escaped that deadly danger just as I always do, with style and wit and panache. You would have been amazed. But let me tell you what I found when I opened the chest I stumbled across in the darkest shadows of the far corner of that chamber. The chest appeared a more recent addition to the ruins, not Dwemer in style or function at all. Made me think that maybe I hadn't been the first explorer to discover the site, after all. Trust me when I tell you, however, that the contents out of the out-of-place chest were as remarkable as yours truly.
At least we know that
Okay. Don't mean to click on you, dude. I am. Crow and Raven, 3 short fables. Crow and Raven were watching Cormorant dive for fish. I wish I could dive, said Crow. I like to eat fish. What? Said Raven. Are you saying Cormorant can do something that you cannot? That's absurd. You're twice the bird they are. You're right, said Crow, and he dove deep into the water. Half a minute later, he thrashed his way back to the surface, and Raven stood nearby. Raven, gasped the Crow. Why did you say that? I nearly drowned. Raven shrugged and said, I like to eat birds. Crow and Raven were watching Morning Dove take a bath in a shallow pool. I believe I should take a bath as well, Crow said. He flew down and splashed about in the pool and then flew back up next to Raven. That's better, said Crow. Why is that? Said Raven. Your feathers and your beak and your eyes are just black as before. True, said Crow, but when I flew down to the pool it startled Morning Dove and she flew to her nest. Now I know where it is. Eggs for lunch, said Raven. Crow and Raven sat in a tree by the roadside inn, above a drover snoring in a drunken stupor. Crow cocked his head and said, That a sleeping person has a shiny pin on his shirt. It's an award, said Raven. He got it for drinking ale. If you drink the rest of the ale in his mug, you'll get a shiny pin too. Shiny pin, said Crow, and he flew down to the table and drank the rest of the ale, and then fell over and couldn't get up. Raven flew down and plucked the pin from the drover's shirt. Shiny pin, she said, and she flew off. Really anything to pillage. Not the books, though.
We appear to have some unwanted visitors in the halls of... Let's make them feel welcome. Your friend always has the opportunity to bring himself. All he needs to do is reveal the location of the amulet case, and you can all be on your merry way. Never leave the halls of Torment alive.
What is with that voice actress choice for this? I don't know, it seems a little out of place to me.
We can be together forever, Sai. Isn't that what we both want?
Oh. Chamber of Dark Seduction.
Where is the Amulet of Kings?
She seems to be drawing power from those stones. Destroy them quickly.
Move to flank.
And still beating.
Fun to see her. I don't know if you saw it, but she knocked Abnor on his butt.
Too late. Once again.
The shield is gone.
Time for your next session.
Vestige, hold a moment. Well, well, well. Wasn't that a charming little scene? I can't wait to tell Titanborn all about it.
What do you mean?
Are you as blind as your vagabond emperor? The first room was about Sahan's failures. This room is obviously an attempt to leverage his subconscious desires. So, our Redguard friend has a secret crush on the half-giant. How revolting.
Do you think they had a relationship?
Please. Titanborn has all the emotional depth of a Frost Atronach. But who knew Sahan was that sentimental? Then again, he did resist her charms. Good thing, too. That truly would have been a farewell kiss.
I think we just met Madame Marco's Duchess of Anguish.
I can only assume she's Sahan's personal torturer. I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be meeting her again very soon. Come, let's keep moving.
Wrong. Might be going in the wrong.
We don't get many visitors in the halls of Torment, but there's always room for a few more permanent residents. Such tenacity, such ambition, such bravery. Such a pity we're going to skin you alive and feast on your intestines.
Yeah, that would be a pity. Please don't.
Fools! Time is meaningless in the halls of Torment. Whether it takes a day or 1,000 years, Saisahan will be first.
Where is the Amulet of
Where is
Kings?
the Amulet of Kings? This can all be over if you just tell me. You can finally rest. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Sai?
Have I been here 2 years? Or 2,000 years? I can no longer tell. But I will never break. Never!
I have never trusted you!
Who dares to defy the Duchess of Anguish? I will tear out your heart and make you feast upon it. What death do you prefer, mortal? Slow and painful or quick and painful? I think I'll kill you quickly, then resurrect you and kill you slowly. An eternity of agony. It will be glorious.
Okay.
Sighs in pain. Release his bonds, quickly.
Yeah, he's fine. Probably. Get to you in just a second, sir.
I do not know you. Why are you here?
Varen sent me. I'm a friend.
Who sent you? The Emperor? He lives? This day is filled with wonders.
Did they force you to reveal the location of the Amulet of Kings?
They tortured me for many months. Years, perhaps. But I did not break my vow. The amulet is hidden and safe.
Can you walk? We need to get out of here.
My strength is returning. Lead on.
You have done it, Vestige. Bring him through the portal quickly. Saisahan lives. You've outdone yourself, Vestige.
The Daedra tortured his mind as well as his body.
The minds of some men can endure hardships far greater than anything the Daedra can concoct. The forces of loyalty, honor, and friendship are powerful indeed.
Now, what's our next move?
We must recover the Amulet of Kings, but only when Saisahan has had time to recover. He is a man of great strength, but he will still need to rest after such an ordeal.
Where's the Amulet of Kings?
Sai locked the amulet away in the ruins of San Kotor and entrusted the key to one of his close associates. But he can tell you himself. Speak with him. He's eager to meet his liberator. I'll contact you when we're ready to move forward.
Okay. Oh.
I owe you my life. My lord calls you Vestige. A strange name. Is it true your soul was taken from you?
Yes, it's true.
Stranger still. My people say that bravery and honor are the hallmarks of a great soul. Yet you have both of those things in great measure. I had begun to think that honor was a relic of the past. You give me hope.
How are you feeling?
I cannot say. Physically, I am unharmed. But mentally, I feel a darkness in my heart. A weight on my soul. I do not know how long this emptiness will remain.
How do we get the Amulet of Kings?
I hid the amulet in a sacred catacomb protected by magical wards. The means of lifting these wards are in the keeping of my old mentor, Kasura. As soon as I am able, we must meet with her.
We will, as soon as you're well. You should rest now.
I will try to rest, but I am a warrior. We cannot sit still for very long. I should certainly bathe before we meet with Kasura. I am unpleasantly fragrant. If she happened to be downwind of me, well, I would never hear the end of it.
You say.
The path ahead of us is a dark one, but it pleases me to know that I shall walk the path with friends. May we all rest a little easier tonight. I know I shall.
Chronicles of 5, Companion 5. Abnor Tharn here. Collecting the Red Guard from the Halls of Torment was a simple enough task in the end. I find it curious that Saisahan was affected so by his experiences with the other members of the Companions. Though I find his tolerance of and affection for that hulking she-troll distasteful, it cannot be denied that his willpower throughout his imprisonment was nothing short of legendary. We now know where the Amulet of Kings resides. It is perhaps fitting that he returned it there. Sahan is better read than I expected, but perhaps a bit too poetic. A clever and patriotic man of imperial descent might have immediately thought of the ancient citadel of Sancretor and its association with Alesia and the Covenant of the Divines. It is perhaps a great blessing that the elven man of Marco has no such love for Cyrodiilic history. Saisihan is a curious individual. I have never considered the Red Guards quite as contemptible as many Nebonese lords might, and I find him the most agreeable of their surviving companions. He understands duty and dedication, serves those he knows to be his betters, and hones his craft with singular dedication. Despite his inability to resurrect a lost tradition, for the best, probably, given its supposed implication in the destruction of the Red Guard homeland, Saisihan's abilities with the longsword are awe-inspiring. I recall a time during the war against the Longhouse Emperors, when he rode at the head of a column of mercenary soldiers passed by Varen to assist in the liberation of Leowin. It turned out that Leovic, scion of the Ta Drolic, and then Emperor of the Imperial City, employed those mercenaries as double agents. When Sai came before the gates of Leowin and his loyal troops, they turned on him, hoping to deliver the severed head of Varen's legendary Dragon Guard commander to Emperor Leovic. Second-hand accounts of the citizens are often difficult to trust, but even if one takes a simple peasant exaggeration into account, it is clear that Sai fought his way through two forces, intent on separating his skull from his neck. When he returned to the rebellion base at the Bruma weeks later, he did so with the scalps of 86 men and the news that Leowin had been freed. He never really spoken of it to me, despite my pressuring. Varen, of course, did not pry. He used his own charisma and the overactive imaginations of the levies to spin a tale of glorious combat. One man against two armies. Sai Suhan, who single-handedly freed Leowin from Leovic's control. In truth, I suspect it is far more brutal and bloody. One does not saw the skin off of 86 skulls unless one is burdened with a great deal of suppressed anger and bloodlust. One man does not take on 600 at once. I think it's far more likely that the Red Guard fought a brutal, running battle throughout the city for days, murdering commanders and guardsmen alike, until the Reachmen and their mercenaries eventually quit the settlement. That is what makes Saisihan so dangerous. He does not look to be the sort who would remain hidden away in dark alleys and back streets, surviving by eating garbage, butchering one by one men so savage that the only way to frighten them is to become a murderous, invisible ghost haunting the shadows of an occupied city. And yet, that is precisely who he is and what he has done. Right. So, now are you guys... I'm gonna leave, and are you gonna call me back to get it as soon as I get outward? I kinda hope not. I don't want a little break from you guys. I'm talking to the companions, not you guys watching. I love you guys. I think I'm gonna go do my dailies. I'll bring you guys back when I am done. Those dailies tend to eat up some time.
Good find, cohort.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still an MMO, so there's dailies. Which I don't always do, if I'm being honest. Going in the right direction? I don't know. No, not. I knew it. I just was about to enter town and I got asked to go back to talk to the guys for the main quest. Right, I'm still gonna do my dailies and then I'll pop over there. Okay, finished my dailies. A half hour later. I just did my crafting and I cleaned out my inventory, because that's always a big thing. And now we're heading back to the bridge to continue on with the main quest. Quick, let me add that. There we go. Alright. Pillage again. For a little dank hole in the wall, it has the best supplies. Hi, dudes. Looking better, Saisa, huh?
Honor and faith to you, my friend. We are nearly ready to depart. My Lord Varen requested that Tharn and Snow Lily join us, for safety's sake. Though I have seen fewer places as tranquil as the Valley of Blades.
Why do we need to go to the Valley of Blades?
An old friend, Kasura, dwells there. Before I was captured, I placed an enchanted ring in her keeping. The ring is a key of sorts. Without it, we will not be able to open the secret chamber where the Amulet of Kings lies hidden.
Tell me about Kasura.
She was my first mentor and instructor. A true master of blades. She still trains young swordsmen in the valley, though she deems worthy of her instruction.
What does she teach?
Swordsmanship, but much more than that. Her teachings revolve around a trinity of body, blade, and brilliance. The sword singers of old were said to be masters of all three. Oh, look, there will be time for questions later. Are you ready to depart?
Sure.
I'll open a portal to hasten your journey.
I didn't see Cadwell back there. Well...
Do you smell the scent of burning embers in the air? Oh, we may be in for a treat if Kasura is teaching the firewalk.
Which way are we heading?
The Abbey is just down the path. We're fortunate that my Lord Varen opened a portal for us. This landslide appears to have blocked the valley's only approach.
What could have caused it?
I cannot say. I've never known these mountains to experience earthquakes. Strange.
Do all Redguard swordsmen shave their beards?
It is tradition for Redguard men to shave their heads, following a time of great trials. I shaved mine long ago, when I failed in the task to restore the lost tradition of the sword singers. Also, long hair gets in the way during battle.
But you didn't shave your beard.
There is an old Redguard proverb. A man is only as great as the beard that wears him. A full and healthy beard carries with it a sense of great honor and wisdom. Also crumbs.
Couldn't it be grabbed in battle?
Oh, a few have tried, but a fool and his fingers are quickly parted.
Which way are we heading?
The Abbey is just down the path. We're fortunate that my Lord Varen opened a portal for us. This landslide appears to have blocked the valley's only approach.
What could have caused it?
I cannot say. I've never known these mountains to experience earthquakes. Strange.
Let's go.
It is strange to return to these mountains. Memories of youth flood my mind, each one bringing its own sorrow or its own smile.
Oh, joy. We've been here less than 5 minutes and Sahan is already getting maudlin and weepy.
Shut up, Tharn. Don't let him get to you, Sai.
What
Let
is
him roll
this?
his eyes.
The
Maybe
Abbey
he'll find your
burns.
brain back there.
Quickly, we must find Kasura.
So much destruction. What could have done this?
I'm afraid I've seen this before. Keep an eye skyward, Titanborn.
The Abbey is reduced to rubble. What will we do now?
Kasura! There!
I can manage. Please help the others.
Sai Sahan.
Had I known it was going to be this.
Are you injured?
Cultists. They
What
attacked
happened?
the Abbey. So many of my students have fallen.
The Abbey is in ruins, Kasura. How could they?
A gigantic beast. Like nothing I've ever seen. Cultists. They're opening Writ to oblivion.
Oh, save your strength, Kasura. We will make them pay. I promise you.
What do you think? Trap?
It's only a trap if you don't know about it. I assume everything is a trap, therefore, it's a challenge.
In the name of Moloch Baal, come forth and destroy his enemies! I'm still fighting.
Anything going on back here? Such a nice place, too. Or was nice. It was a big ol' statue. Big dude. Missing your arm, though. Where is his arm? Maybe, I don't know. I don't see it. Anyway, sorry. Distracted. Distracted.
Heed me, Daedric minions, and obey!
You're interrupting scholarship!
Hosts of Oblivion, come forth and feast. Sahan and company at last. My pet has been waiting for you.
Eye skyward. Here it comes.
How many more of your friends must die, Sahan? Where is the Amulet of Kings?
Well fought. Sahan travels with worthy companions.
Are you injured?
My injuries are not serious. What are a few more scars to an old warrior? Scars have the virtue of reminding us that our past is real. My students and my home have not fared half so well. I'm glad to see you. But curious why you are here.
We come for the ring. Is it safe?
I did not find the Ring of Stendarr's mercy. But now that the King of Worms knows you are here, it is only a matter of time before he launches another attack.
Then we must collect the ring and leave quickly.
Indeed. Atop the eastern stair is the secret entrance to the ancestral crypt. The ring is within.
Let's go.
Follow me. The hidden entrance will not be obvious.
Why would a crypt need a secret entrance?
It's a wonder there's an unplundered crypt in all of Skyrim. You Nords could learn a thing or two from the builders of Hammerfell.
Perhaps Hammerfell could also teach Nibene the virtue of good manners.
Here we are. Watch your step as you descend.
The timing is suspicious, right?
I can feel the presence of my ancestors whenever I come here. I am burdened with a great responsibility to honor their sacrifice and uphold their legacy.
Your ancestors are interred here?
Aye, along with some of the most renowned sword singers who ever lived. We must tread carefully and with great respect.
Why did Kasura hide the ring here?
We both thought it would be well protected in the Valley of Blades. The most gifted young swordsmasters of Hammerfell are invited to train with Kasura. The town was bristling with strength and steel before the Titans showed up.
How did Man and Marco find out about this valley?
I cannot say. Perhaps someone told him of my past. Perhaps he pried the memory from me during my time in the halls of Torment. Either way, I am to blame for the valley's destruction. No one I love will be safe until Mana Marco has been dealt with.
We'll stop him.
And I shall need a proper weapon. Kasura said that my father's greatsword lies with the ring. It seems proper that I should wield it in his honor.
Now you just said that this was where your family was interred. We're gonna
Tread
pillage.
lightly. few living have been permitted.
Oh, this place stinks of dust and death.
Vad Hunding, son of Frandar do Hunding, Helhanse no Shira, the greatest of the Sword Saints. The hearth of every household in Hammerfell has a small alcove containing a copy of his father's greatest work, the Book of Circles. Ra'aba was a warrior of great renown. He fought alongside Frandar Hunding in the 7 great battles against the armies of Hira, and survived. At the final battle at Hatu Mountain, more than 300,000 gave their lives. Anse Kalam, master of polearms, and his daughter, Ra'adia, they swept through these mountain passes like a tempest, driving out the bandit tribes that had harassed our people for 2 decades. The twins of Sword and Spear, Rahasa and Rahuzar, and their mother, Anse Satame, the Tigress of Dragonstar. It seems fitting that the Ring of Stendarr's mercy lies with my father's greatsword. We will need both for the battles that lay before us. By the sword of my father, Nazir Ataf-Sahan, I pledge myself to the destruction of Manimarco and the liberation of Tamriel from the tyranny of the god of schemes, Molag Bal.
The ring is yours. Guard it well. I must return to my students to begin the long task of rebuilding.
Will you come with us?
Thank you, but I cannot leave the Valley of Blades. I must bury the dead and tend to the wounded.
I must return with the ring, but perhaps Sai Sahan and the others can help?
I knew you would lead me to the ring eventually. Give it to me.
Mm-mm.
Your presence defiles this place, Manimarco.
Give me the ring, and I might spare your pathetic lives.
We struck down your Titan, and we'll strike you down soon enough.
The Titan was a prelude of what's to come if you continue to defy me.
Defy you? Your delusions of godhood are laughable, you ignominious corpse herder.
Very well, then. I'll simply take the ring from your corpses.
Blasphemy! How dare you raise the honored dead to fight your battle?
The next time you hide something from the most powerful necromancer in all of Tamriel, you might reconsider hiding it in a bloody tomb.
I'd say we saw those coming, right? When he gave a breakdown of all the people. You need to go down.
Hold the line! They must not get the ring! Rest in peace, honor dead.
Swear on the souls of my ancestors, I will avenge Manimarca's blasphemy!
The ring is ours for the time being. Guard it well.
I'll guard it with my life.
You must return to the harborage and give it to Lord Varen. It will remain safe in his keeping until it is time to travel to Sancrator. Lyris, Abner, and I will remain here to help Kasura bury the dead and tend to the injured.
How will I return?
Lord Varen has been observing our progress. He will open a portal for you to return. There it is, at the top of the stairs. Go, quickly.
I'll tell him what happened.
The damage is great, but if you had not arrived when you did, there would be nothing left to rebuild. Be safe in the coming days, my friends. I look forward to your return.
The Abbey of Blades will rise from these ashes. If I survive the dark path we must walk, I will return to help Kasura shape a new generation of Blade Masters.
A noble goal, Sai. Perhaps I'll join you. For now, we should see to the survivors.
You continue to surprise me, Sal.
I thought they were done talking. Sorry.
In my mind's eye, I witnessed your battle with the worm cult and with the undead Unsay abominations. Your mission was successful, was it not?
Here's the Ring of Stendar's Mercy. The Abbey of Blades was destroyed, though.
I witnessed the Titan's assault and sensed the deaths of many innocents. It is a great and terrible loss. Sai-Sahan and the others will need time to aid Kasura. I will contact you when they return, and we will begin the journey to Sancrator.
Your accomplishments just compound one upon the other.
Chronicles of 5 Companions 6. I am called Sai-Sahan, son of Nazir Etif Sahan, of Bancora. I have been asked to add my words to the Chronicles, and though I am no scribe, I will do my best. The teachings of Devad, of Abba and Kalam, and of Satima tell us that while a warrior may hone his craft to perfection, or sharpen his sword to where it may cleave stone and steel, as though it were air, the true worth of a swordsman is denoted by the quality of the enemies he draws to them. I find myself idly wondering if the great forebearers would consider this philosophy if they could see us now, and witness our enemy, the Prince of Jadra, known as Molag Bal. At first I thought to write that my training did not prepare me for this, but after hours of meditation and the counsel of my once emperor, I have come to realize that this is exactly why Kasura and I trained and studied for so many years. The sword singers of the old Yukada were said to be more than mortal, possessed of focus and skill far beyond what other men might achieve in a dozen lifetimes. While I cannot claim to have reached such greatness, perhaps my final test was not to wage wars alongside emperors, but to bring righteous steel to bear against the foes of all life. I harbor some doubts about whether I am ready for the coming struggle. I did not break under the tortures of the betrayer, but I did not emerge from the halls of torment unscathed. Torn flesh knits under the ministrations of my lord's healing magic, and my savage dreams are soothed by Snow Lily's warm voice in my ears as I startle awake in the dead of night, but I am still not whole. Tharn and I speak at length over games of skill and strategy while I recover, and I have spoken plainly about my worries. His contempt at my perceived weaknesses serves as a much-needed counterpoint to Snow Lily's tender words. I endure and accept it, for a warrior without humility is as flawed as a sword blade forged too rigidly. His words harden my resolve and keep my wit sharp. It is difficult to set aside the many deaths of the Abbey of Blades, and though we did what we could in the wake of the attack, it will be many years before Kasura is ready to train more students in the way of the blade and the mind. When all of this is ended, should we survive, of course, I would very much like to return there and help rebuild. Perhaps I will ask Snow Lily to come with me. It's kind of sweet that he calls her Snow Lily. Alright, so my plan is, unless he dings me right when we get outside the door again. Hey, Cadwell, buddy. Unless he dings me when we get out of the... I'm gonna finish here, because there is some quest that I didn't do. But I have to travel a ways to get there. Alright, so... We are here. There's the boss. I'm gonna go to that. So I'm gonna travel a bit. I don't think I'll drag you guys with me the whole time. In case something fun happens, then I'll bring you back.